Hello, fellow fight fans, and welcome back to another prediction video. Before I get into the content, I would just ask the usual of you that you would like, share, hit the bell notification, and most importantly, if you're watching, you might as well subscribe. You'd be helping this channel out tremendously. You'd be helping me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers, so pressing that button would greatly be appreciated. So the fight that I'll be covering in this video comes by way of request, and it is another great one from Austin Webb. I do thank you for your request and for participating in the channel. A very interesting one from Austin Webb, and that is Miguel Cotto versus Terrance Bud Crawford. Two amazing fighters. And when I think about Miguel Cotto, I just think of a legend. He's already a legend in my book, kind of like my modern day Roberto Duran. And history's going to be kind to Miguel Cotto. He fought everyone, never ducked anyone, and has a lot of great wins on his resume. He had an amazing pressure style. I love the way that he came in low behind the high guard, and he would just get to that body. I loved his left hook to the body, and he just had an amazing left hook in general. Cotto put a lot of pressure on his opponents, and he just threw great combinations. I love the way he parried punches. And yes, Cotto was as tough as they came, had one of the biggest hearts I've ever seen. And Cotto always fought with inspiration. And what I liked about Cotto is Cotto was tested. Cotto was tested, and you got to see how he handled adversity, and he handled adversity very well. And so that's what makes a fighter, not just winning all the time, not just putting on a showcase against lesser opponents, but fighters who have been forced to dig deep. And because of his level of opposition, he's been forced to dig deep, and he's passed the test. So, Terrance Bud Crawford. And I'm still high off of that performance against my guy, Errol Spence Jr. And I'm an Errol Spence Jr. fan, but I just can't get over how impressive Terrance Bud Crawford was in that fight. He silenced a lot of the critics, including myself. And as I always say, I knew there was a chance that Terrance Bud Crawford could pull off a decision victory, but I just didn't expect him to handle Spence like that. I didn't expect the fight to be so one-sided. So the fight really showed us who Terrance Bud Crawford is, what he's made of, and I tell you, the guy is just on another level. I don't see anyone in the fight game today beating Terrance Bud Crawford, not even Canelo Alvarez. That matchup is for another video, but wow, Terrance Bud Crawford. And the ones who makes the best fighters is fighters who can adjust. And I've seen this guy just adjust to anything. Terrance Bud Crawford is always prepared. His IQ is just sharp. I mean, that's one sharp fighter. And the thing is, unfortunately for his opponents, once he zeroes in on you, once he gets your rhythm, your timing down, the fight's over. There's no coming back from that. So, but what about Miguel Cotto? Could Miguel Cotto overcome adversity in this fight? Because he's sure going to face it. He's sure going to face it. And as I always say, styles makes fights. So, who wins? Who has the advantages in this fight? And I'm just going to be honest, Terrance Bud Crawford just looks unbeatable at this point in his career. I'm even having a hard time thinking of past fighters and old legends who could beat Terrance Bud Crawford. I'm just every now and then you just have a truly special fighter. And right now, Terrance Bud Crawford is that special fighter. Now, Miguel Cotto has the toughness, the heart, and the grit. And he brings enough to make life uncomfortable for Terrance Bud Crawford. With the exception of the Spence fight where Terrance Crawford had a surprisingly fast start. In the past, he's had slow starts, and his opponents were able to catch him a couple of times as Bud is warming up and making the adjustments. But the more I think about it, I think Cotto's aggression And it's smart pressure coming from Cotto, but I just think the pressure and the aggression will play right into Bud Crawford's hands and work against Cotto, because it seems that Bud thrives off of his opponents pressing the attack, because that gives him countering opportunities, and that also gives him an opportunity to use that superb timing. And I tell you, that timing is a killer. And once Bud Crawford zeroes in on his opponents, once he makes those adjustments, I just don't see anyone coming back from that. Could Cotto possibly come back from that? I would say that Cotto would be the toughest opponent of Bud's career. But honestly, I think Spence is better than Cotto skill-wise. But Cotto has that heart, he has that determination, and Bud has never seen that type of heart or determination. But as Floyd Mayweather always says, skills pays the bills. And so the more I think about how Bud Crawford is able to make the adjustments, that superb timing, I just don't see Cotto stylistically being able to overcome that. So I think Bud Crawford scores a stoppage late against Miguel Cotto after a hard-fought fight. Those are my thoughts. Please let me know what you think. I'll see you on the next video.